So you're thinking about moving to San Marcos. Well, in this video, we're going to check out 3 different homes in 3 different neighborhoods, all under $350,000. And at the end of the video, we're going to do a price comparison to see what the monthly mortgage payment would look like. We're going to get after it right now. Hey, Daniel here. If you're thinking of moving to the greater Austin area, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on the local real estate market. You know, I became a realtor for the same reason I was a teacher for 10 years. I really enjoy helping people, and in real estate, helping them with really big decisions. So it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, you can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. Be happy to help you make that smooth move to the Austin area. All of that is in the description below, and let's get into the video. So the first house we're checking out in our tour today is listed at $295,000. This is a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,595 square foot home. We are in Hills of Hayes subdivision, which is southeast San Marcos. And just so you can kind of get a sense of where we are, this is actually a corner lot. And right there is De Zavala Elementary School, so walking distance from the elementary school. And like you can see, we're on the corner lot here. This house is really interesting. It was built in 1996. It's been remodeled quite a bit. You're definitely going to be able to tell when we go in. They did some really good work with the remodeling. And there's a surprise when we check out the garage. So let's go check it out. Very long, actually going downward. You can see that slope. So that's a little concerning as far as the drainage. We want to make sure the water's draining appropriately. Really beautiful large bush in the front here. I like the look of the front. They definitely need to pressure wash the walls here and the front driveway. So we start with this tile here in the front, and then we go into some natural hardwood here for the living room area. Really cool back area against the fireplace. This is not gas, this is real firewood. Pretty tall ceilings, massive fan, LED light. And then you can see that they had the surround sound speakers that are still here, so that's great. Over here we have our dining area, really cool light fixture here with the candles, fake candles I should say. The bench, I do wish we had more view. You can't really see much because of that bush. I mean, it's good for privacy, but I usually go in the kitchen first. We're actually going to do that second. Let's walk back here first. So we have our first full bathroom. Really tasteful design with that backsplash, the tile in the back, right? And they have the indention, as well as the shelf included for this. And then really nice cabinet here, so it's not just a pedestal sink. Yeah, I really like how they did this bathroom. They even have the medicine cabinet there, and then the framed mirror. Here we just have a linen closet, and then these are the 3 main bedrooms. So here's bedroom number 1, comes with a fan that is updated, regular closet, relatively small bedroom. Bedroom number 2, about the same size, but it does come with 2 separated closets. Looking out to the backyard. They also have fresh paint and fresh carpet in this house, and the HVAC system is only 4 years old. And then the primary bedroom, so we see we have not really a tray ceiling, but just the fan is pushed up. Definitely feels taller. No, it's the same height. Looking out the door, same height as the hallway, so pretty good height for the ceiling. Here is our primary closet. That's definitely a a bad thing. That's a very small closet for a primary. It's a pretty good sized room though. I do love what they did with the bathroom here. So they have this faux wood tile flooring, and they kept that against the shower. And then we do have a dual vanity with this really large mirror. Very nice. But yeah, that closet space is super small. So, you know, you're not gonna win everything. You kind of have to figure out your priorities. This being under 300,000 is why I put it on the tour. And then just looking at the photos online, it looked really good. It's a really interesting home. So I think for this price point, and if you're looking for 3 to 4 bedrooms, then you can't really beat this, especially corner lot, walking distance to elementary school. You know, if that's important to you, this is a really good find. Coming into the kitchen, brand new granite countertops. These look awesome. And then they have this backsplash going all the way around. There is no island, so it's important that these countertops are pretty deep and open. There's a lot of space. We have this large single basin sink, and then stainless steel appliances throughout. This really nice light wood with the handles. Now these look like they've been through it, so yeah, it needs a little bit of love. I would probably stain these because it's a little dirty here, and then add some rubber tips to it. And then here is your pantry, which for some reason they stopped the tile and put back to wood here. It doesn't look too bad. A pretty spacious area. So the oddest part of this house is actually here. Now I was expecting a 2-car garage. This is what we get. We get our 4th bedroom, quote unquote. So they installed a fan. We have our utility closet here. All right, washer over there, dryer over here. With no door, so it's gonna stay open. And then what makes a bedroom is if it has a closet, and this does. It's actually a bigger closet than the primary. And then guess where this goes? The backyard. And screaming birds. So really odd design here. You can kind of see just more space around there because it's a corner lot. And then we get to the actual garage, but it's so short because they put in this dividing wall that you can't park a car in here. So plenty of storage space, like great that we have these shelves here, but if you need to park a car inside the garage, you don't have that option at all in this house. So that could be a deal breaker for some people. I don't necessarily know if I would hate this or not. I'm just not sure how I would use this 4th bedroom. So you can park in the driveway, you can still open the garage door, so it's not like it's a fake door, it still works, and you can walk in through here. But this area is just really odd to me. I would use it probably as a guest area, but then I'd feel bad for my guests making them sleep in the garage. I'm not sure, you know, I don't see how, okay, here we go. They did add a vent there. There we go. So there's a fan, the AC blows in here, add a couple rugs. I guess it could be a little cozier in here. No natural light, which isn't great. But it was a very interesting design where it's technically, this is a 3-bedroom floor plan with a 2-car garage, and then they just switched it to a 4-bedroom with no garage, right? You can walk in, but you can't actually park the car in there. Now, if that's important to you, then yeah, this isn't a great one for you. Really, the only time it's important to me is if there's hail and I just need to protect my car. But interesting design, really important for someone who's wanting maybe 3 bedrooms for their family, and then that 4th bedroom for a guest area. I wouldn't use this as an office. It's kind of dreary in here and stale. I don't like it in here. But you know, it's kind of depends on how you would want to use it. But I wanted to show you guys this very interesting design under 300,000. Love the kitchen. I think the primary bedroom's pretty good size. Let me show you all real quick the backyard before we go to the next house. So we have this side door here next to the fireplace. And so we have this updated fence gate. This is uncovered, okay? So no covered side patio. And I don't know if you can see, but this fence is actually a foot in front of the old fence. Not quite sure why they did that. a really large backyard area. I'm also not entirely sure what this was for. And then that's the door to the garage. Updated fence on the side too. Yeah, not quite sure what fort this is for, but pretty big yard space. Very friendly neighborhood dog right behind you. So yeah, definitely some things going for this one. It's been on the market for I think 4 days, within a week or two. So I don't think this will stay on the market long because it's so unique, but especially for the price point and for this Hills of Hayes neighborhood. But cool, that was the first house. Let's go check out house number 2. Second house we're checking out today is listed at $310,000. This is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 1,478 square foot home. As you can see, it's a 2-story home, and we are in West San Marcos. We're in Bishop Crossing, so it's right off Craddock and I believe Bishop. Yeah, it's right there. We're really close to Franklin Square Park. So you can kind of see where we are in the neighborhood. Franklin Square Park's right down there, just walking distance. And this is actually a cul-de-sac, so the street ends right there. So it's really nice positioning because you're not going to have any through traffic going into it, but let's go check it out. For those of you who own a home, pressure wash your driveway before listing it. It always blows my mind when I see homes for sale and it's just, the driveway is disgusting. So it's an easy thing to do. I've done it for my clients before. If you don't own a pressure washer, do that. Okay, it's the first thing we see. But except for the nasty driveway, very long driveway, and you can see how I was saying the last driveway dipped down, this one dips up, which is more common, having the water drain towards the street. So not too bad of an angle. We have a large front patio covered. So all 3 bedrooms are upstairs for this specific home. They have luxury vinyl plank flooring, looks really, really nice. And this home was built in 2001. Now this area is a mix between college kids renting out houses and then families. So typically, most of the homes are going to be, they were rentals. So just something to look at. Definitely really important to get an inspection done for these types of properties because you don't know what 10 years of college kids renting out a property has done to the property, right? So something to be aware of. And then also to be aware of, if you're moving here, you're gonna be around college kids in this side of San Marcos. So something to be aware of. Really dimly lit was the first thing. I turned this light on and it did nothing. So pretty dark. The ceiling's also much lower than the previous house we're looking at. And here we have some storage underneath the stairs. Not a ton, but a little bit of storage. Dining area, and then this kitchen is quite a bit smaller than the previous house we saw too. Walking down here, we have our pantry. And then we actually have our half bath down at the end of this hallway. Pretty good size half bath. Now what we do get is a 2-car garage with quite a bit of extra space. So they have the built-in shelves here, but then they have this extra space pushed back here. So quite a good amount of space in this garage. Definitely fit 1 car comfortably. You can always tell, so garage doors are going to be the same width, right? It's a 2-car garage door. It's gonna be the same width as any other 2-car garage door. But the way you can check it out is by the distance from the end of the garage door to the wall. That's how it gives you a sense of how big is this garage. So looking at this, it is right next to it. So that means you're not gonna fit 2 cars in here. You'll fit 1 car, and then you'll have this space for storage and whatever you else need to put there. Here we have a covered back patio. Pretty good size too. It's covering all the way out to those stones there and stopping at that brick. So definitely a plus there compared to the previous home. This is a really odd backyard. I feel like I'm in Inception, like the world is folding in on me. There are no back neighbors there, so that is nice, but as you can hear, we are pretty close to Craddock, which is a relatively busy road. I mean, it's for people who live around here. It's not, people who are commuting aren't gonna go through Craddock, right? It's all residential over here. but it's a lot of traffic sound, so something to be aware of. But there is no back neighbor. It's just a wedge of land back here, and then Bishop, that road goes back there too. So as far as the lot placement, pretty good, not having that rear neighbor. I wish it was a little more level and not so slanted and up, but it's far enough away. The immediate proximity area is pretty flat. As we see a dog get upset with me. All right, let's go inside. Let's stop annoying the neighborhood dogs. Upstairs, this is all carpet. This leads immediately to the first full bath. Pretty small. I do like that it has this natural light looking out into the backyard, but it is a very small bathroom. Then we have guest bedroom number 1. Pretty small also, but this would be more natural light if I open the blinds. Decent sized closet for a guest bedroom. Here we have our utility in the hallway. Pretty sure the washer dryer come with property. In this market, they're typically negotiable. Second guest bedroom, about the same size closet. And then we have our linen closet here, and then a really good sized primary bedroom, much larger than I was expecting. And then our primary bathroom. Okay size, only one sink, which could be a problem, but an actual decent amount of closet space with second little closet area here too. So this one definitely wins as far as the amount of closet space. I don't like the lighting. It just feels like a dark house. The lower ceiling, and then another thing, if you're listing your home for sale, open the blinds. I don't want to touch them just walking in here, but have the blinds open or up, just so when people come see your home, it feels, you know, as light as possible. We don't want to walk into dark homes, okay? We don't want to feel that. So this one definitely feels very dark to me. But the pros for this one compared to the last one, you have that covered back patio, which is really important, and it's more of a traditional backyard where you open up and it goes straight to the yard instead of having to walk around the house to get to the backyard like the other home. I also really like the garage space. Okay, you can actually fit a car in there and have a ton of extra storage space on top of that. Things that are worse for this home, 2-story, you're gonna have to walk up and down stairs. There is no primary bedroom on the first floor, so for some people that's a deal breaker. And then, like I said, it just feels darker. The ceilings are definitely lower in this house, but the lot placement is good. No rear neighbor, you're in a cul-de-sac. Definitely pros and cons. It's really important when you get into house shopping, you've already made your list with your realtor and figured out these are my top 3 non-negotiables. I need these things in my house, and everything else is kind of negotiable. Make sure you've gone through that list of kind of what's really important to you, what's important but not as much, and then what you don't care about, because you're always going to have to give and take to find your next house. You're never going to find that perfect home typically. But yeah, this was house number 2. We're going to go check out one more home, so I'll see you over there. This is the third and final house we're going to check out in the tour. This is a 4-bedroom, 3 full bath, 2,186 square foot home listed at $335,000. We are in northeast San Marcos in Whisper, which is a master plan community. This home was built in 2021, so you're definitely going to notice the layout is definitely more modern. And just so you can kind of get a sense of where we are, we're on a private road. This is a semi-cul-de-sac. It connects over there. Pretty wide streets. And that's the entrance to the neighborhood. So let's go check it out. I love the brick to stone exterior. I wish there was a little bit more stone. Never a fan of just all brick front. We have this little vestibule area in front. This does come with a camera doorbell And you'll hear the security system yell every time I open and close a door. Maybe not. What if I lock it?
Front door lock.
There it is. All right, so we have much taller ceilings in this, a lot of recessed lighting. This looks like either luxury vinyl plank or laminate. I'm not quite sure. It's probably LVP. To the right here, we have our utility room, pretty large, pretty wide area and deep. So you have room over here if you want to add, well, they have storage here, but you can also add a table for folding. First full bathroom, single sink, pretty good sized bathroom. And then first full bedroom. You could use this as a mother-in-law suite. I would personally probably use this as a home office. And then this is just a linen closet. Really wide front area too. So you can add a little table here or coat rack. And then this leads straight to the garage. Automatic lights when you walk in. Still not a ton of space, you can see from the garage door there, but I do like that we have this walkway here, so you have some extra storage in the front if you do want to park 2 cars in here. Some storage underneath the stairs. And then we have this really nice open living room to kitchen to dining room floor plan. Again, with pretty tall ceilings. So I like that we have the thicker countertop material, large single basin sink. Everything is relatively new. Like I said, this was built in 2021 and it's a new construction neighborhood. So all these appliances are going to be relatively new within 4 years. Pantry, another good thing if you're thinking of selling your home, putting liner on your pantry just makes it look a little bit nicer. Good job, these people. Really large open living room area. Checking out the backyard. So a decently sized back patio. It is covered, which is important. Not the biggest though. You can definitely extend these things too. That's not crazy expensive. Really nice backyard. Very flat, good, nice big square. A little bit of trees, some shade coming in, but very private. Yeah, I like this backyard a lot. So there's actually 2 primary bedrooms, or 2 bedrooms on the first floor, I should say. So here's the primary bedroom. Really dark. Again, they should just open the blinds for showings, but this light is adding nothing really to this room. Really good sized room though. You can see this is a king size bed, so plenty of room on either side of that. It is carpeted flooring. That's a plus for some people, it's a con for others. Walking in, we do have a dual vanity. Open towel area. I wouldn't call it a linen closet. I love when they have the natural light coming in through the shower. That adds a lot. Pretty good sized shower. And then definitely the best closet we've seen so far. I'm gonna get the lights as I go through. We'll go upstairs next. So something we're gonna look at the end of the video, like I said, is if I can figure out this light. I think this light was on when I walked in. Oh, interesting. One thing we're going to look at the end of the video is how much each monthly mortgage payment is going to be for each property. For newer construction homes, you're going to guess this one's probably going to be the highest monthly mortgage payment because it's the most expensive, but also because it's in a new construction neighborhood. And typically you're going to have to pay a little bit more in your taxes to cover either a MUD or a PID, which is paying off a bond for developing the new land that these new homes are on. So we're gonna check that out in a few minutes when I get to that, but something to be aware of. This is almost definitely going to be the most monthly mortgage payment, but not just because it's a larger, more expensive home, it's because it's a new construction neighborhood. All right, let's go check out upstairs. Carpeted stairs, really wide walkway though, which is nice, walking up the stairs. Really wide stairs. And then we come out to this landing. That just leads to the attic. Pretty good sized landing area here. Here we have bedroom number three, excuse me. Pretty small closet. Yeah, typical bedroom size. Love that it has a fan. Most of the time you don't see a fan in the guest rooms. And then the other room, actual tasteful paint. If you like blue, I like blue. Again with a fan, a little bit deeper closet. And then the third and final bathroom. Single sink, pretty good size for the upstairs bathroom. So cool, there you have it. So now let's go. I'm gonna go back to my home office and crunch the numbers. I'm gonna show you how I calculate the monthly mortgage payment so you can see what factors you need to consider when looking at a house. So I'll see you over there. Okay, we are back at the home office. Now let's go check out the estimated monthly mortgage payments and how I figure that out. So I have the 3 properties here. I'm gonna go in the order that I showed them. First property listed at $295,000. So I'm gonna go to this calculator. This is something I actually have on my phone that I help my buyer clients in the moment, just kind of get a sense of how much it would be. We're gonna do 2 different types. So let's do a 3.5% down payment. Maybe you don't have as much cash on hand, you're a first-time homeowner. Switch to an FHA loan. 295, 3.5%. 6.1 sounds about right for an FHA right now. Okay. We'll just make it 3 on both sides. Okay, so the 2 things we need to input are taxes and HOA. Taxes for this, 1.97. 1.97. And I don't think there's an HOA. Nope, no HOA for this property, which is rare. So 0 for that. And let's pretend we're closing April 15th. Why not? Kind of early, but that doesn't really matter. Okay, so monthly payment for this home with a 3.5% down payment is $2,542. Now, just to briefly explain this, if you're unfamiliar with this, P&I is principal and interest. Principal is the loan, interest is the interest you're paying on the loan. That on this one is $1,759.99. That doesn't change, that's a fixed amount. Then taxes, $484.29. Insurance, $167. Again, that's just a guesstimate. And then MIP is mortgage insurance premium. If you don't own 20% of the loan and equity of the home, you have to pay a mortgage insurance premium. And so, sorry, my cat is in the way. Hello, Oscar. I want to say goodbye, Oscar. If you don't own 20% in equity on the house, then you have to pay that mortgage insurance premium. Okay, so this one is about $130. So about $2,500. As far as the prepaids and fixed, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that. In the current market, you can negotiate the seller pay some of that or all of it, but the down payment's the important number. So $10,325 down payment. Now, if you're able to do a bigger down payment, let's see what we can get that number down to. So let's say instead of this, we do a 20% down payment. That's going to get rid of your PMI or your MIP, your mortgage insurance premium. And now we're at $2,200. Oh, I need to switch that to a conventional. That's why it's still showing the MIP. We're doing 20% down. Interest rate's going to be a little bit higher with the conventional, most likely. Actually, today it's at 6.70. Okay, so this is getting us closer to 2,174. Quite low, especially in this market, which is great. Honestly, for most rentals, you're going to be looking around that 2,000 mark. So this is a really good property. If you're thinking of renting versus buying, I would definitely consider buying this property if you're able to do a decent down payment. The next one. So about $2,500, $2,100 for that one. Next one's listed at $309,900. Let's again go back to the FHA first. We're gonna do 309. 3.5% down. Okay. Interest rate for this one was, tax rate 1.90, so pretty similar. and then 150 annually for the HOA, which is really low. 1.90 and 150 annually. 1.90 and HOA is 150 annually. Okay, so this property that's listed about 15,000 more, it's going to cost you 2,665 per month with a slightly higher down payment. So about 1,000 more about 100 more per month. Now, if we did a larger down payment, we'll do a conventional loan at 20% down payment. $6.70 is what I saw today. It's been It's been roughly around 6.7 for the past few weeks, actually. Yep, that'll stay the same. So now we're looking at $2,279 per month. Again, you're not having to pay that PMI, and that HOA is crazy low. $1,250 a month is really, really low. So both pretty low mortgage payments. Let's look at this last one in San Marcos. Now we're looking at $334,990. There's no stopping this cat. The cat's gonna show up on camera. I already forgot. Oscar's is distracting. $334,990. We're gonna do an FHA again. So we can get that 3.5% down payment. And then with this, the taxes are quite high. So we're looking at 2.45, which is definitely gonna make a difference. And the HOA is $35 a month, which is also bigger than what we just saw. So this is why it's important to speak with a realtor while you're trying to figure out these monthly mortgage payments, because this home is what, about 30,000, 25,000 more than the last home, but a much bigger, monthly mortgage payment, about $400 more a month, because higher tax rate and more on the HOA. And then finally, if we did a 20% down payment for a conventional loan. And again, the reason 20% is a good number if you can is because you get rid of that mortgage insurance premium, which goes to nothing. That helps you. We're down to $2,647, so still pretty high compared to the last two that were about $2,100, $2,200. So I hope this video helps y'all kind of understand price comparison, see what's out there in the San Marcos area. These were just 3 homes, by the way. Let me show you that I just pulled up, but they're relatively new. Okay, that's a lie. The last homes went on the market for a long time. These two, though, 16 days on market and 20 days on market. So it's not like you have to wait for a home to be on the market for over 100 days to get a good deal. There are homes hitting the market, like I showed you with this first one that's listed at $295. Right off the bat, they're listing it under $300,000. And it's a pretty good deal when you look at the tax rate and no HOA. So definitely worthwhile to look at those properties. Definitely worthwhile to reach out to a realtor. If you don't know a realtor, I'm always available to help you guys. Remember, it doesn't matter if you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days. You can give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or schedule a Zoom call. All of that can be found in the description below. And until next time, I hope to see you guys around town.